doing notes yet again because I procrastinated and was actually super stressed out about this show because even though, I mean, Jenna pulled so much of the weight and it's awesome. Like, it's honestly incredible to see this place filled up. And this is really, really cool.
Yay!
I'm kind of pissed off though because my whole shtick tonight was going to be about me being in a bad mood and now I can't, like, stop smiling. It's fucking... Part of putting this on was, I mean, there's just so many logistics and things to get done. Part of that, I really thought it was important. You know, it's one of my primary values to have alcohol at a show. So I did everything in my power to make that happen. And that included driving out and back to Belgrade 3 times in the last couple days, which wasn't bad today, but yesterday was terrifying. Just kind of a white knuckle drive, but I had to take out this insurance policy for up to $1 million of liquor-related damage. So after like the last couple days, I'm like ready to use every last penny of that. I'm here to fuck shit up. I wasn't sure too. This was like, because I just ended up going into the insurance agency place, and I've never gone in and like asked to take out a policy, and I wasn't sure if it was. Do you guys remember Along Came Polly? And there's like that character. He's in it. He's like a life insurance agent, and he determines someone's risk value. And I wasn't sure if it was something like that. So I tried to be like very put together. You know, like I wore a nice shirt, but it was freezing out, so I was bundled up, and I got in, and I'm trying to like make sure I come across professional. And then I looked down, and I realized my shirt's on inside out. And like, fortunately, the seams aren't visible, but the tag is, so I put my scarf back on. And I'm like starting to sweat, so I pull up my sleeves, but then I'm trying to cover up my tattoo also. I'm like, just like sitting there sweating too, like, come on, hold it together. And I got it. So, I prevailed. If anyone has any alcohol tonight. I did a full detox for you. I sweat so much into that scarf. Oh yeah, my tattoo. This is my first tattoo. I just got it actually. It's of my cats because apparently I don't want a boyfriend. I'm just doing me right now. But it's like everyone says, like once you get your first tattoo, you're like addicted and you just want to get another. So I'm already designing the next one. And it's like a family tree, but instead of like, you know, branches or roots, it's like chains or like old dried out rubber bands and like bungee cords that would snap in the face. But it's a complicated tattoo, and for it I've had to even get in touch with an ex-boyfriend of mine because we're soon going to be related through marriage. My sister's fiance's brother is married to his sister. It's complicated. But I'm like super into Game of Thrones, so I'm like, who's gonna die? It's hard to describe, and even like the number of times I've said this, even on stage, I still have difficulty remembering it. I contacted Ancestry.com, and all they sent back was their condolences. Actually, it was more like, sorry, your request did not be processed at this time. Then I realized I was accidentally on Ancestry.gov instead. Should have just used Pornhub. Oh yeah, that's segue. So I told this joke last night, and I'm actually I'm very upset that it's still relevant today, even as of this morning, because last night I mentioned yet another mass shooting that had happened, and then I woke up and turned on the radio today, and yeah, here we go again in Southern California this time. And it's difficult for me to process things like this because I do have a lot of empathy. I do find empathy is a slippery slope, but aside from that, it's a different TED Talk. I can't help but think of things from an engineer's perspective too, and I'm wondering if you probably won't like this, but I'm just thinking maybe we start building the flag's masts at half-masts. We'd probably save a lot on materials. I put it in the spreadsheet, like someone's not doing their job, we could use that to build the wall. Great again. Great doesn't even necessarily mean good. Like, I've been to Great Clips. So I mentioned earlier I'm single, not just because of the tattoo. Lately I've decided that finding a good guy is a lot like finding a good parking spot. You don't need one, you can walk. Put your Sketcher, like... No, I'm just kidding. All the good ones get taken early. And then there's just people like me. I'm just like driving around, circling the lot. Circling it again. Every now and again I think I see one, but it's just like a little dinky thing hidden behind a big old truck. It's stressful because I don't want to walk. It's dangerous for me to walk. I get hit by cars a lot, which isn't a joke or a metaphor, that happens a lot. Yeah, I bruise like an avocado. Expensive. But I think so it's difficult for me because I know this. I'm picky. I thought about this when Jen mentioned your whole list of things. I also am very analytical, and I just keep records. It's probably more accurate than the census. But I've been reviewing my records and running some statistical analysis because the numbers are high enough. And, so I've determined my type. I've been able to narrow it down to a few primary categories. And it's kind of like a Wendy's combo. It's just like you can pick any two. And I'm good. Number 1, sad boys. Ugh. Number 2, soccer. That one doesn't need explaining, really. Number 3, redheads. Upon reviewing the data, I'm a little bit of a ginger binger. Yes. I don't have an explanation for that. Number 4, wears a condom. Becoming increasingly rare, actually. Yeah, no, it's upsetting. Because it seems like guys don't take it quite as seriously. One of my close friends recently had his first STD crisis because he had unprotected sex for the first time. And I was trying to be empathetic, but it's also like, yeah, come on, dude. Like, I know your balls hurt. Like, wrap it up or wrap it up. Come on. Like, I felt a little bit like watching my younger sibling take their first shot of alcohol. I'm like, yeah, it burns at first, but you're probably gonna do it again. Come on. Oh, so that's why my type is wears a condom. Finally, shares a name with an assassinated president. This one is a little bit specific, I realize. But check the numbers. Because I've got two of them. I've dated a Lincoln and a Kennedy. They both dumped me, so I'm trying to... The number, like, jury's still out on what that means. It was pretty devastating both times. It was like a nation in mourning. But I've got so many great friends. Like, one of them was telling me, she's like, honey, honestly, you're so much better off. I think you dodged a bullet. This was wonderful because I feel like this was a much better set than I have had twice earlier this week. Though I did still get a compliment after what I thought was my worst one, and I was just in an awful mood. And this guy was like, yeah, your delivery is just so great, it's unique, and I think you got such a good thing going there. And I was like, sir, it's not delivery. It's depression. There are